Hello friends. Welcome to our channel. Attempt question and check your knowledge. Also, do let us know in the comment if you need mock test for any specific exam or subject. Make sure to watch the video until the end and start practicing alongside your studies. Question 1. With reference to the National Council for Vocational Education and Training, NCVT, consider the following statements. Statement 1. It is a regulatory body under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Statement 2. It was established by subsuming the National Skill Development Agency, NSDA, and the National Council for Vocational Training, NCVT. Statement 3. Its primary role is to regulate and standardize vocational education and training in India. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation: all three statements are correct. NCVT is indeed a regulatory body under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. It was formed by subsuming the National Skill Development Agency, NSDA, and the National Council for Vocational Training, NCVT. Its main function is to regulate and standardize vocational education and training, including the recognition of awarding bodies and assessment agencies. Question 2. Recently, the President of India visited North Macedonia. Which of the following statements about North Macedonia is correct? The correct answer is option C. Its capital city is Skopje. Explanation: North Macedonia is a country located in the Balkan Peninsula in Southeast Europe. Its capital and largest city is Skopje. It is a candidate for EU membership but not yet a member. It is landlocked but in Europe, not Central Asia. It does not share a border with Italy. Question 3. With reference to the safety of sanitation workers in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and Their Rehabilitation Act, 2013, completely prohibits manual scavenging. Statement 2. Despite the ban, deaths due to hazardous cleaning of sewers and septic tanks continue to be reported across various states. Statement 3. The government has launched the Namaste scheme to mechanize cleaning operations and ensure the safety of sanitation workers. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Explanation: all three statements are correct. The Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and Their Rehabilitation Act, 2013, indeed prohibits manual scavenging. The recent news highlights that deaths still occur, indicating the continued practice despite the ban. The Namaste, National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem, scheme was launched jointly by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment to achieve zero fatalities in sanitation work and mechanized cleaning operations. Question 4. Who has recently assumed the charge as the chairman of the National Commission for Minorities? The correct answer is option C, Harjeet Singh Grewal. Explanation: Shri Harjeet Singh Grewal has recently taken over as the chairman of the National Commission for Minorities. The commission works for the protection and welfare of minority communities in India. Question 5. The PM Vikas Yojana, recently highlighted by the Ministry of Minority Affairs, aims to ensure inclusive development for which of the following groups? The correct answer is option C, minority communities. Explanation: the PM Vikas, Pradhan Mantri Virasat Ka Samvardhan Yojana is an initiative of the Ministry of Minority Affairs. It aims to improve the livelihoods of the minority communities, especially artisans and craftspersons, by providing skill development, entrepreneurship support, and market linkages. Question 6. Consider the following statements regarding the Swamitva scheme. Statement 1. It is a central sector scheme of the Ministry of Rural Development. Statement 2. The scheme aims to provide a record of rights to village household owners in rural areas. Statement 3. It utilizes drone technology for mapping land parcels and digitizing property records. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option B, 2 and 3 only. Explanation: statements 2 and 3 are correct. The Swamitva, Survey of Villages and Mapping with Improvised Technology in Village Areas scheme aims to provide a record of rights to village household owners by issuing property cards. It extensively uses drone technology for accurate mapping of land parcels. Statement 1 is incorrect. It is a central sector scheme of the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, not the Ministry of Rural Development. Question 7. With reference to the Index of 8 Core Industries, ICI, in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The index measures the collective and individual performance of 8 core industries. Statement 2. These 8 industries account for about 40% of the weight of items included in the Index of Industrial Production, IIP. Statement 3. The recent overhaul includes changes in the base year and the inclusion of new industries. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. Explanation: statements 1 and 2 are correct. The Index of 8 Core Industries, ICI, measures the performance of 8 key sectors: coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizers, steel, cement, and electricity. These industries indeed account for a significant portion, around 40.27% of the weight in the Index of Industrial Production, IIP. Statement 3 is incorrect. While an overhaul of an index often involves changes in the base year and weights, the Core Industries Index traditionally comprises the same 8 industries. The news refers to a major overhaul which typically implies methodological changes and base year updates, not the inclusion of new industries into the core list itself. Therefore, the part about inclusion of new industries makes statement 3 incorrect. Question 8. The 16th India-Japan Annual Summit was recently held in which city? The correct answer is option C, New Delhi. Explanation: the 16th India-Japan Annual Summit was recently held in New Delhi, India. These summits are crucial for strengthening bilateral ties and cooperation between the two nations. Question 9. The Sindhu Mahakumbh, a celebration of India's civilizational heritage and national unity, was recently held in which region? The correct answer is option C, Ladakh. Explanation: the Sindhu Mahakumbh was recently celebrated in Ladakh, emphasizing India's civilizational heritage and promoting national unity, particularly in the region associated with the Indus River. Question 10. India's first immersive language museum is set to be established in which city? The correct answer is option B, Chennai. Explanation: India's first immersive language museum is planned to be established in Chennai. This museum aims to showcase the diversity and richness of Indian languages through interactive and immersive experiences. Question 11. The term GLOFs, often discussed in the context of climate change and Himalayan regions, stands for. The correct answer is option B, Glacial Lake Outburst Floods. Explanation: GLOFs stands for Glacial Lake Outburst Floods. These are sudden releases of large volumes of water from glacial lakes, often caused by the collapse of natural dams, moraines, due to factors like glacial melt, seismic activity, or heavy rainfall, posing significant hazards to downstream communities. Question 12. Which pharmaceutical company's dengue vaccine has recently received approval from the Drugs Controller General of India, DCGI, making it India's first approved dengue vaccine? The correct answer is option C, Takeda. Explanation: the dengue vaccine developed by Takeda has recently been approved by the Drugs Controller General of India, DCGI. This marks a significant step as it is India's first approved vaccine against dengue. Question 13. With reference to the right to protest in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The right to protest is explicitly mentioned as a fundamental right under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. Statement 2. The Supreme Court has consistently held that the right to protest is subject to reasonable restrictions. Statement 3. Protests can be held at any public place without prior permission from local authorities, provided they are peaceful. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is option B, 2 only. Explanation: Statement 1 is incorrect. The right to protest is not explicitly mentioned as a fundamental right. However, the Supreme Court has interpreted it as flowing from the fundamental rights to freedom of speech and expression, Article 19(1)(a), and freedom to assemble peacefully and without arms, Article 19(1)(b). Statement 2 is correct. The Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that while the right to protest is a fundamental right, it is not absolute and is subject to reasonable restrictions imposed by the state in the interest of public order, morality, and national security, among others. Statement 3 is incorrect. While protests are allowed, they are generally subject to reasonable restrictions and often require prior permission from local authorities to ensure public order and safety, especially regarding the choice of location and duration. Unrestricted protests at any public place can lead to disruption and chaos. Question 14. Which of the following is not a component of the National Social Assistance Program, NSAP? The correct answer is option D, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, PMJDY. Explanation: The National Social Assistance Program, NSAP, is a centrally sponsored scheme of the Ministry of Rural Development. It provides financial assistance to the elderly, widows, and persons with disabilities in the form of social pensions. Its main components include the Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme, IGNOPS, Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme, IGNWPS, Indira Gandhi National Disability Pension Scheme, IGNDPS, and the National Family Benefit Scheme, NFBS. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, PMJDY, is a national mission for financial inclusion to ensure access to financial services, which is distinct from NSAP's social pension objectives. Question 15. The Commission for Air Quality Management, CAPF, primarily focuses on air quality management in which specific region of India? The correct answer is option A, National Capital Region, NCR, and adjoining areas. Explanation: The Commission for Air Quality Management, CAPF, in National Capital Region and adjoining areas was constituted by an Act of Parliament in 2021. Its primary mandate is to coordinate activities, research, and resolve problems related to air quality management in the National Capital Region, NCR, and its adjoining areas. It replaced the Environment Pollution, Prevention and Control Authority, EPCA, and has comprehensive powers to plan, execute, and enforce measures for improving air quality in this specific region.